we are back working on a Tesla Model 3. Today we're doing a partial hood fender mirror. Before you saw us, we did a full panel. So this is a less expensive way to protect the leading edge of your vehicle. Kits are available for all vehicles in a 24-inch kit. It's what I call a partial kit. So it covers a portion of the hood as opposed to the whole hood. Again, it will reduce the costs in the kits. These kits are quite easy to install. So they're really good for first-time people who are doing these. Watch our other videos. You saw we started out with the easy panels doing headlights and fog lights and stuff like that. But these panels are quite an easy panel to install. So we're going to go ahead and install on the front of the fenders and the hood here. So it's going to be a portion of the front fender here, as well as a portion of the front fender here. Now it all kind of ties in and lines up together. Now, one of the important parts of this is the way that you do them. So when I go to install this kit, I'm not going to put the hood kit on first. I'm actually going to put on these side pieces. And the reason for that is when I go to install the hood piece, it's a lot easier for me to line up the hood to the fender piece as it is to go the other way around. So I'm going to start with these pieces here, and then we will put the hood on to match. So we're going to do both sides. So we're going to do this piece first, and then we'll go and we'll do the corner piece here on the fender. We'll go and do the other side, and then we'll lay the hood in, and you'll see how I match up where the film meets so that the line looks uniform and you don't have a crooked line. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already got this wiped down. I'm just going to get this sprayed with our soap solution and just rinse down just anything that's sitting on there. Okay, I've already got my panels or my pieces up on my board here, so we're ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and again spray the back of the liner to reduce the static for when I remove the film, remove the liner from the film, so we don't get any dust from the air hitting it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and remove that. Just give it a light spray with your soap. Again, if you're touching the film, you want to make sure you have wet hands, otherwise you're going to leave fingerprints and stuff in it. Okay, so this piece just lays down like that. Okay, so basically starting point on this one is going to be the front corner. Okay, and then we're going to work back to the back corner here. So alignment points, we're going to check for corners. We want a nice line here. Of course, we can always add a wrapped edge for you. That's usually how we do our kits, but for this video, I'm just going to keep it simple. We're just going to do a regular non-wrapped edge. So you can basically line it up almost to where it needs to be, okay? And I just going to wipe this off a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my alcohol solution. So I'm going to spray the top of the film with a soap solution first. Okay, that's going to let my squeegee move around. Now you want to make sure everything's still moving here. I'm going to go ahead and wash out that soap solution with my alcohol solution there. And I'm just going to position this first front corner. And I'm squeegeeing through my soap into and through the alcohol. I don't want to push the alcohol first, because then I'm going to leave a hard edge here. I still want this to be moving a little bit, okay? From there, we're going to go back to your other alignment points. It's going to be your top corner and just above the headlight here. So I'm going to go to this top corner. Again, I'm going to take my alcohol solution, wash out the soap from under that corner. Okay, just going to lift that up. Okay, and then I'm going to align it by using my hand here. Okay, in the soap area. Don't touch the alcohol area because we don't want it to tack at that spot. And again, nice and gently just coming through. Okay, all right, now we can go ahead and just check the rest of the alignment along the headlight here and along the side of the hood here. So we're good there. So I'm going to again spray a little bit of alcohol solution in the corner. We're going to tack this spot up. Okay, now it's not 100% necessary to wash out all of the soap throughout here. Okay, so we can go ahead, and if this is still moving, which it isn't, so I'm just going to lift it up and get some more soap solution in there so it is moving. So it gives you the idea of what's going on. So this is still all moving in here. A lot of people think for some reason that you've got to spray alcohol. You don't, okay? Again, so now I've tacked in the corners. I'm actually going to squeegee away from anywhere where I've tacked. So I'm going to start making my way down and then up here. And then I'm just going to split it. Okay, and just roll that edge. All right. Okay, so I've basically got that all squeegeed out. I'm just gonna give it a wipe just to check, make sure I haven't left any solution in behind. Okay, and that looks fine. So at this point, I'm gonna go ahead and just run around with the heat gun at the edge and just make sure it's dry before I move on. So again, you're not heating the film this way, you're just drying that edge of the film. So you kind of want to come, if you can, imagine you're trying to blow the air under that edge of the film, okay? And just come around. Again, keep your heat gun moving. You don't want to stop and burn something. Okay, we're just going to come around, hit that top edge. All right. So now we're going to move on to our next piece, which is going to be this piece here. Again, these kind of tie in all together. So at the end, you should have a uniform line that goes right across from this side of the fender, across your hood to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this down here. Instead of using my hose, I'll just use my sprayer just because then I'm not making a big mess. Come over, spray my backing. And go ahead and make sure my hands are wet there. Pull that backing off. Go ahead and soak down my film here, okay? And then make sure you know the orientation. As you can see, there's a cutout here. Obviously, that goes to the bottom of the fender here, back by the wheel, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and align this front corner first, probably. Gonna get a little bit more soap in there. We got some more movement. Okay, so I'm gonna line my front corner here first. I'm gonna wash the soap out with the alcohol solution. Go ahead and squeegee down from the soap here into where you've sprayed your alcohol solution for that corner, okay? Now we can go to our back corner and same thing. Just gonna wash out that soap. And again, we're just gonna pull it back slightly to get that position where we want it. You don't wanna overlap your edges because then you're gonna end up picking up some dirt and stuff like that. So that's tacked now. Again, working away from those areas where we've tacked from here and here. We can come up to this top edge. We're gonna set that top edge. Again, it needs just a little bit of a slight adjustment there, and go ahead and squeegee that out. Now you can go ahead and squeegee the rest. Okay, again, working away from those tack points. It's always better to pull your squeegee than to push it. So pull as opposed to push. Okay, so our corner's a little bit out of alignment. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that back, and then we can reset that. Okay, so that's that one done. Again, we're just gonna follow the steps, have it installed. We're gonna wipe it out, check for any moisture or water left behind or any dust in and under the film. Okay, so that one's done. We're gonna move to the other side. And again, I'm gonna basically just spray this down. Okay, come over to my board here, spray my liner, pull my liner off, and soapy solution. Lift up my film here. Go ahead, tack that next piece on. Okay, So again, same thing as the other side. We're just going to line up our front corner. So soapy solution on the outside to give us some slip for our squeegee. Gonna wash out some of that soap. Okay, and go ahead and tack this corner down. Okay, I got a little speck in there. So go in and pull that out. Okay, again, going to the back. So this should all still be moving here. Tack that back corner by the top of the light. All right, and then just get this top corner. I'm just going to check my alignment along my light and along my hood. Everything looks good. You can just manipulate that into where you want it to go. And again, working away from those tack points. Again, pulling your squeegee, not pushing. Once you get a little bit of experience, you can push it, just less chances of getting an impression by pulling it because you're dropping it slowly down and sweeping. Again, I got another little speck here. Just gonna go in, get a hold of that guy, just wash that out. Okay, and I'm gonna just wipe that down, check and make sure I haven't left any water or air in there. Okay, that's good. So we'll go ahead and just quickly set that edge. Okay, so that's your other side done. Okay, so now if you had, if we're doing a wrapped edge, okay, so if we had a wrapped edge where this edge wrapped inside the fender and your hood wrapped inside, you're gonna wanna install these with your hood up. So open your hood, install these pieces first, close your hood fully, because if you don't close it fully, you won't be able to line up with where the pattern on the fenders are. So because we're not doing wrapped edges on this one, you can just leave the hood closed. But if you are doing wrapped edges, you want to again install with the hood up, do your fenders first, wrap your edges, close your hood fully before you go and install your hood. Then you install your hood. Of course, now you've got wrapped edges, which means they'll be overhanging. Get the body of the pattern squeegeed out first, and then open your hood and wrap your edge on that. Okay. So we're good to go on the hood now. As you've seen in the other full hood video, you know, obviously we're going to start obviously with our alignment around our emblem here, and then work our way to our corners to match up with our other patterns that we put on. So for this one, I am actually going to use the hose just because it's a lot easier than spraying it down with a sprayer. Again, just coming from the upper portion, I'm just going to spray that down just to remove any dust that may be floating around in the air, and then concentrate around that emblem because there may be some dust stuck in that. Okay, well, we've got that rinsed down. We can go ahead and put a slip solution onto the hood. So that's your soapy solution onto the hood first. As you can see, it's a lot easier to use a pump sprayer than it is a trigger sprayer. Okay, we've got our hood piece here on the board. Again, spraying down the liner to reduce static when you remove the liner from the film. Spraying your hands because you're going to be touching the film when you go ahead and pull the corner. You might want to just place your hand on your board and just slowly pull that off. Now, I always tend to like to keep it moist as I move along. Okay, and then just be careful when you're removing around your emblem there. You don't tear the film. You don't want to just rip that liner off and tear your film. Okay, So now I've got the liner removed. I've got my soapy solution on the car as well as the film. I'm going to go ahead and just throw this on. So I'm going to grab this with my left hand here, and I'm actually going to sweep around, grabbing that and get that on. So that's a lot easier than a full hood because, of course, it's a lot easier to handle because it's a smaller piece. And I'm just going to kind of massage out these bigger bubbles. Okay. I'm going to spray a slip solution on top of the film so that my squeegee moves around. And I'm going to get my alcohol solution, and I'm going to get this aligned around the emblem here first. And load in some alcohol solution there, rinsing out that soap. And I'm going to go ahead and start working around the emblem here. Okay, so you're going to want to fully get around the whole emblem, because if when we go to move the sides, we don't want that to move around the emblem. We don't want to pull it. So again, just make sure you're tacked down good. You can always try and push alcohol solution in there. If you find that it's taken, it means it might not have gotten in there before. Okay, again, just clearing that, making sure we're good there. Okay, so we're gonna basically go to our top corners. I can see that the film is kind of sitting a little bit crooked here. So we're gonna go ahead and just shift this. So the film is still moving. We've got alignment here that we're trying to meet. Okay, so again, we're going to start at that corner, wash out our soap. Just gonna pull it down just a little bit so we get a nice even line coming across from the hood to the fender transition. Okay, and then working away from that corner. So now we can come down and just check our alignment in this corner. Okay, come across, come down. Shifted around the emblem here, so I'm going to end up lifting that back up. I'll probably come over and just set this corner. Make sure that's still moving. We'll align this, and then we'll come back to our emblem. Okay, a little bit out of alignment there, so just relift that. Make sure that you have either a soap or an alcohol solution so that you're not doing a dry squeegee, because it'll leave nothing but bubbles there. Okay, so now that I've tacked those top corners, I'm just going to come back and re-lift this. There is no set way that you have to do this first, but you know, for this, it appears because I've got a bit of a finger here and a finger here, I'm going to have to lift this up and massage that back down. So I go ahead and just pull this up around the T. Just putting my soapy solution back in there and just kind of massage out these fingers. Spec there. Okay. So I just use soap there, so I'm just gonna again push that alcohol in, lock that around the emblem down. and basically just work down the rest of your hood here. This basically should be pretty aligned. If you have to move it, obviously just shift and make your squeegee, but it's pretty good. Again, just going around that edge with the alcohol solution just to tighten that up, get that edge sitting down properly. And I'm just going to go around that edge there and just spray my alcohol solution, washing out any leftover soap. Just get that front edge to sit down properly. Now, if you get an issue where you've got a finger popping back up, just wash it out really good. Okay, and when you come down on this, don't just come straight down, slide it across and spread it. Okay, and when you get to the edge, just hold it there for a second. That'll keep it down. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to double check that everything is sitting down here. We'll give it a wipe off just to inspect to make sure we haven't got any water in here anywhere. Got a little air bubble here, so I'm just going to go back in and just lift that film up, putting my solution in here, and then I'll just go ahead and squeegee that back out. And that's, you know, a really good reason why you should wipe and check, because if you see something, it's best to try and deal with it as soon as possible, as opposed to getting it all done, setting an edge, and then having to relift it and then possibly shifting your glue. All right. So we've got a little bit of an overhang on this edge. Again, I'll just pop the hood and then slowly roll it, a little bit of heat just to dry out that, but it's nice and tight to the front, which is what we want. And no more water in there. Okay, so that's your partial hood fender. Obviously, I don't need to do this one to show you guys in the video, keep it shorter, but that's how you do your alignment for your fenders and your hood. If you want to do it hood first, you can do it that way. You know, it just, I find it easier to do the fenders first before you do the hood. But give it a try. You can always move your film around a bit. Yeah, that's Model 3 partial hood fender mirror. We didn't do the mirrors obviously in this because you've seen our installation video on the mirror kit, but that's how you install a partial kit on a Model 3. Thanks for watching, and this kit and other kits are available at the link below.